So if you're a glutton for punishment, you've been doing your own drywall. And oh baby, if you're as bad at it as I am, you're gonna need you a drywall sander. And not no manual one, because you got your work cut out for you. Here today we got us the BAUER 9-inch variable speed drywall sander. So let's take a quick look at how to set this up and use it. So the base tool here, which is what comes in your box before assembly, is basically just 4 pieces. So we got our actual sanding head. Now how we prepare this is we fold it up. Got us a fancy little lockety-doo-dah here that then holds that straight. Simple enough. Next piece, we got an extension handle. Now you don't technically have to put this on, but makes the tool less unwieldy. All this does is slide right in. Now you can then tighten up this nut right here. Tight. That is if you want the handle installed all the way here. So we can adjust this if we loosen that nut and it will slide in or out. Now this sander is capable of being hooked to a shop vac to remove the dust. So if you do planning on using that feature, we'll install the hose. So it just pops right in the butt of the tool here and we tighten our nut up. Also an important note, depending on how much suction you would like, at the end of the sander we have a little adjusting knob. If you've ever used a vacuum, this is your typical setup. So we got our bypass here open all the way or closed for extra suction. The last piece here that it comes with is an adapter to fit different size shop vacs. So that would then go on the end of your hose here. Now I am going to install this adapter to fit my vacuum. So to swap these, all you gotta do is push in on a screwdriver on this little tabby guy on both sides. We can pull that off. Voila. That will be removed to probably never be seen again. There we go. And this comes pre-installed with a handy little shoulder strap to take some of the weight of that tool off. Now, the package did come with a few different sanding discs, but this is what I'll be using to start this job off. Also, this did come with a nice duffel bag, so you can then break all this down and tote it around. So the operation of this unit, we have a handy light here at the end. So oddly, the switch for the light is all the way down here at the sanding head. We can just flip that over right there. Nice bright light. Here at the actual handle portion, we have our on-off switch and our variable speed. So here is our variable speed dial and our on-off switch. Now some quick specs on this unit before we get right to it. It is 11 pounds is the weight of the tool. With no coupons or nothing, this thing cost $170. So it's not just real cheap. It has a claimed 5 amp draw rating and an RPM adjustment of 600 RPM to 1500. Now I am using my BAUER shop vac here, and ironically, it's not the best fit here. So, nothing a little duct tape can't handle. We're gonna start off in this room. So we're using 120 grit sandpaper. We're gonna use kind of a slower RPM, and we're gonna have the shop vac on. So got some earplugs in, not because this tool is noisy, but that shop vac is very noisy. And gonna go ahead and have some safety equipment here. Now this will be a pretty good spot to test this out. So after some hours behind using this tool, I did find that my monkey brain initially wanted to fling this thing around willy-nilly, but I found that slow and steady provided the best results with this thing. Nice, smooth finish. Now that is a nice first pass. Look at that. Now I did get some splatter on the ground from excess dust, but not bad. Wasn't billowing it up everywhere. And I was having to really get with it. You might ask yourself, is that guy in his PJs? Yes, that is a benefit of working on your own house, is you can wear your PJs. Probably wouldn't recommend showing up on the job site like that though. Depending on your PJ orientation, you might go to jail. Now this tool did get closer to the edge than I anticipated, but I will have to go back with a touch-up sander to get down in the cracks, like through there. Which is best, because this would really gouge up the corner if the actual sanding disc went all the way to the edge. Now you might be wondering, how bad is it if you're not using the shop vac to suck out the dust? Well, let's try that. Okay, enough of that. It is way worse. It's pretty terrible without the shop vac going, so that is a good feature, even though it does leave just a little bit of dust behind. So between the length of the shop vac hose and the hose that's actually on the tool, you can really work your way around the room quite easily. But the extension cord on the tool isn't really that long, so it does need an extra cord to really get around the room. So I completed sanding of this 400 square foot space in the upstairs. So me and my wife's bedroom, the bathroom, and the closet. I did 2 passes, one with the 120 grit and one with the 220 grit. And it took me about an hour and a half to complete that totally. Now that is pretty impressive, considering that if you could get a close look at my finishing skills, you would understand that that's quite a bit of sanding. So I am very happy with this tool. This will not turn you into a professional grade drywall finisher, but it will help you suffer less as an amateur. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I got another 1,200 square feet of drywall finishing to complete, so I'm gonna get back to work. Keep